Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. It's me, ODO, and I'm here today to do a review for you. We're on season 2 of the Frasier reboot, and I hear the blues are calling tossed salad and scrambled eggs. I love Frasier, and I didn't have a channel when the reboot of the first season happened, but we're on season 2 of the reboot, 2 episodes in for the premiere, and let me tell you, I was excited to check this out. If you haven't watched Frasier before, you haven't watched the reboot, no big deal. I'll give a quick rundown. The quickest explanation is Frasier used to be a character on Cheers, who was pretty interesting. Then he got his own spin-off, Frasier, which was hilarious. Oh, it's 10 seasons or 9 seasons of just greatness. I actually rewatch them all the time. They still crack me up to this day. Niles and his dad and Daphne and everybody. And they've been gone for 20 years, and they came back with a reboot last season. And so Frasier used to be a psychiatrist, then he was a radio psychiatrist, and he had his own TV show. Now in this one, he's moved back, and he's now working at Harvard. He's moving there because his son, Freddie, is staying there. And, his dad's passed on. Niles is no longer around. Daphne's not around. Even Roz from the old show is not around. So a lot of the characters don't return for just a myriad of different reasons. But we get a whole new cast and we get this rebooted. I do miss the old Frasier, though. It's really a funny show. My favorite episode is definitely the one where Marty gets high on the pop brownie. And when Marty's high on the pop brownie, he watches a commercial with Eddie, and it's got Frasier's voice because he was doing a whole Christmas commercial. My favorite moment is when Marty is watching Eddie on the commercial, and he thinks Eddie can really talk.
Anybody want to go for a walk? Then why not come to Seattle?
Sweet mother!
Come to Seattle. And let's go for a walk.
Eddie?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine, but I better go lie down before it really hits me. Come on, boy.
I'll be in there in a minute to check on you.
Oh, suit yourself, Eddie.
It's absolutely hilarious. I laugh every time I see it, even to this day when I know it's coming. But yeah, so on to the new reboot. So now Frasier's in a whole new area, and he works at Harvard. And we have a different host of characters for this one. They're different, but similar in a lot of different ways. Well, first up, obviously, Frasier is back, and he's the backbone of this show. He's the one in all of this who does the absolute best. He's the one you most rely on for the jokes, the funny moments. Just like the old Frasier show, like, he's always getting screwed over, so that never goes his way. But he's also kind of posh, and you sort of know what he likes and doesn't like. I don't know, the humor's great. If you like the old Frasier, this is the main point of the Frasier reboot. Kelsey Grammer's back. He feels like Frasier. He acts like Frasier, just older, so everything about him works. We have Frasier's son, Freddie, who's a firefighter that dropped out of Harvard years ago. His dad is kind of estranged from him and he wants to get closer. So that's one of the things they kind of work on in season 1. And that keeps going in season 2. But they have some funny moments. The son does a pretty good job. He's a pretty good replacement. He reminds me of Marty. He's like the new version of Marty. He's like a go-get-him like man firefighter guy. And Frasier is definitely not that. So he's a pretty interesting character. Frasier's got a new boss at work at Harvard. Her name is Olivia. She's also a lot of fun. I really like her character. She always seems to get screwed over and be doing something dumb, but she's also really smart and their boss, and they just have really good moments with her. She's great, a lot of fun. I can't remember the actress name playing her, but great job. She's a great addition. We also have Eve, who is the son, Freddie's neighbor. She's like a single mom. They used to kind of date or something, I think. There's, a lot of that kind of tension there. But she's hilarious. She's like the down-to-earth girl. Shows up with like sangria that they may not like because she's, the way she makes it isn't posh like Frasier. I love her character. She's a lot of fun throughout both seasons so far. Next up, one of the other new characters is David. He's Frasier's nephew. He's basically Niles. He's the new Niles. He's always screwing things up. He's goofy. He's like the slapstick comedy, always dropping things, falling down, getting smacked in the face and stuff. He does a great job. I really like that character. And then last but not least, we get Alan. He is my absolute favorite character, played by Nicholas Lyndhurst. He's like an old friend of Frasier for like 40 or more years. He is the most natural feeling character we get in the whole show. Him and Frasier bouncing off each other are all the strongest moments. And they're funny. He's really good. Like, he does a really good job. It's like he was always there. Like, he just fits right in. A couple of moments with him, I literally laughed out loud. I just started cracking up. So, great to see him along. So season 2 of the reboot opens up pretty strong with a great episode, I think. It's called Ham Day. So Frasier and Alan a long time ago had an amazing ham when they had a terrible time in Italy and they had this delicious ham. So they've got it ordered and it costs more than a laptop and they're getting it shipped over and they're like talking about it like it's a precious cargo, like, oh, it's just crossed the border. When will it be here? Oh, what day? And they're going to have a celebration, Ham Day. It's awesome. And every time someone brings it up, they're like, yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah. And his son, Freddie's always like, oh, guys, we don't want to start fighting today. It's almost Ham Day, in remembrance of Ham Day. I love it. I love made-up holidays like Festivus or Ham Day and stuff like that. It's great. So you get a lot of it's really just talking about Frasier and Alan in the past, and they get into this big argument because Alan has been giving everybody advice with like a magic 8-ball thing from his office. It's so awesome. He just like shakes the 8-ball, oh, indubitably, or like whatever it says on the 8-ball. Oh my god. And Frasier finds out and he's super mad because turns out Alan gave advice to his son to drop out of school and it was based on the magic 8-ball thing. And also Olivia, their boss, she left her old boyfriend that she really loved. Also based on the magic 8-ball. Like, oh, it was awesome. That's how Alan gives all of his advice. And he kind of justifies it in the end later on. But it's hilarious. Like, it's great. They call off Ham Day. And their son's like, Freddie's like, no, you can't just call off Ham Day. So they get David, his nephew, to pick up the ham. He screws everything up. The neighbor Eve comes over. It's a really fun. This is like a procedural joke of the week type show, right? And the joke of the week this week is Ham Day. So finally, by the end of it, Frasier makes up with Alan, and they find out what happened to the ham. But it's a lot of fun. It's a really good episode. It just, like I said, it's a joke of the week procedural return to form. If you like it, you're gonna like this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. One of the better ones of actually the 2 reboot seasons because Ham Day is now going to be a thing in my house. So after the Ham Day episode, the second episode up is Cyrano, aptly titled because it's very reminiscent of Cyrano. It's Valentine's Day around Harvard, and everybody's got special dates and things coming up. And Frasier's got a real great date, and he's got an expensive venue all booked. But of course, because it's Frasier, everything falls apart. His date ends up not going. But don't fret, his adventure doesn't end there. To be fair, it's just beginning, because then he finds out that Olivia's got a date with this guy, Rocky. He's also kind of a minor cast member, shows up now and then, kind of a dopey member of the Harvard crew. I don't know how he's in there. And he kind of intercepts a couple of texts. Now, he at first thinks the texts are about Alan getting fired. So you get a nice subplot with Alan. It's like one of the funniest things ever. He's like, well, if I might be losing my job, even with my tenure, I'm going to really just have to make sure I do my best. And I'm going to try to mold minds and teach everyone in a new, bright, exciting way. And they're like, you could have been doing that now. You have that job now. And Alan's like, you're right. And he goes off and he's like all reformed and doing the best job he's ever done. Because this guy's lazy. He's always like sleeping. You see him in one episode, in this episode, going around with a sleep mask and a pillow, trying to sleep in the boss's office. Like, oh man, Alan is fantastic. So after a while, the boss, Olivia, is the one who's texting Rocky, and they're texting each other about going on a date and trying to break it. So Rocky asks Frasier to help him out. So, Cyrano, instead of writing the letters and getting to the balcony and stuff, it's texting. Hey, it's the modern day. So it's Cyrano with texting on phones. So Rocky starts texting Olivia back with Frasier's responses. Olivia kind of likes them. Then she's going to call off the date. And then Frasier, because his date's backed out, gives them the spot. And then he goes into Olivia's office and finds out that that's who she's texting. And he's got Rocky's phone. So then she's like, oh no, could you text him back? Because I don't know what to write. At one point, Frasier has both phones. He's got both of their phones. He's texting himself in the office in front of her. Like, oh my goodness. It's that old classic juggling 2 things at once while the other person doesn't notice. They used to do it. He had 2 dates one time on the old the old show, and he tried to juggle that. Never works out. This kind of works out. They go on their date, and he does do a little bit of the Cyrano behind the bushes talking. He meets like a new bartender girl. Maybe we're going to see more of her, but it was pretty funny. Alan finds out that he's not losing his job, and I'm assuming goes right back to being totally lazy and terrible at his job. But it was a lot of fun. Again, it was like a procedural joke of the week. The joke of the week was Valentine's Day and Cyrano. And Frasier is Cyrano in this. So overall, pretty good. Overall, I'm really enjoying the Frasier reboot. I would at least give it a solid 8 out of 10 on the odometer. It's definitely a little bit slow at times, and you're really missing some of the old characters, but they get pretty good replacements, and I find season 2, they're finding their stride a little bit better. Alan is just really nailing it. Frasier's still Frasier, but like I said, they've had a little bit more time to grow and be on screen together, so it's a lot of fun. If you like the old Frasier, it's an easy recommend to watch this and check it out. I think you'll have a great time, and plus, more time with Frasier is always a fun time, right? Like, you know, you're going to be getting some sherry, and he's going to be by the fireplace, but you don't get all the old characters, but you get a lot of Frasier, and you get a lot of fun. It's a good show. It's like a warm, like, comfort food type show to watch. I really enjoy it. I'm definitely going to be watching the whole season for sure. But thanks so much for watching this far, everyone. I really appreciate that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.